Yesterday morning, I was at Walsh University with the football team from Walsh, and I had them gathered in the chapel at Walsh. And if you're familiar with the chapel, there's a huge crucifix on the back wall. And I asked the football players, Catholic, non-Catholic, believers and unbelievers, to look at that cross for a moment and meditate on that. And to recognize that when they look at that crucifix, there is no room for mediocrity in our lives and in this world. Because the cross is the sign against everything that is mediocre or halfway. The cross demands a total commitment. So what is today about? Today is about looking at this cross and recognizing that God's justice flows from that cross. Looking at that cross and remembering that God's compassion flows from that cross. God's love flows from that cross. And from that cross, Jesus provides us with more than enough compassion, more than enough mercy, more than enough love to change this world. It's not a problem of us not having enough. Jesus provides everything we need. Jesus provides the oil that we need so that our light is burning brightly in this world. But a light of compassion, mercy, and love. So the gospel today is not about sharing oil. It's about our ability to use what God has given us. It's about living in this world today. And it's also about being a disciple of Christ for the long haul. I can give you one of my kidneys, if you need it, and enable you to live. But I can't transplant a chunk of my love and make you a more loving person. Someone can't transplant a piece of their faith and make me a more faithful person. Being a disciple today is about living a deliberately chosen way of life. And so each and every day, I have to ask myself the question, how will my life enable me to heal a world that is broken? How will my life transform the way my children and my grandchildren will live in the future? How will I let my light shine? So when we hear the gospel today about the bridegroom, or we translate that into the coming of Christ, the coming of Christ is not about when Christ will come, but rather it is about how Christ will come. And so that question is before us today as we look at this cross. How will I care for the hungry, the thirsty, the naked, the lost, not just today, but for tomorrow? How will our lives as a community bring a greater justice and healing for the hungry and the homeless, the victims of violence in our homes and in our community? And also, how will we bring that message to the forgotten Christ around the world? How will my life enable a more compassionate and humane world for the children who are in our preschool over there, in our kindergarten back here, or for the child who will baptize this morning at Mass? The gospel also is a reminder that somehow there will be a time when there will be no second chances and the door will be closed. And so today we ask ourselves the question, do we live each day worried that we don't have enough? Are we relying just on our own? Are we afraid to live without final answers and trusting in faith that God cares and loves and is merciful and compassionate to each and every one of us? Is my life filled with gratitude, overflowing when I look at that cross? Do I allow the compassion of Jesus, the mercy of Jesus, and the love of Jesus to be transplanted and to transform and open my heart? God bless you.